Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of the Power of Your Mind podcast. You're listening to episode number 215. I'm Victoria Gallagher, Law of Attraction hypnotist and #1 bestselling author of Practical Law of Attraction. Align yourself with the manifesting conditions and successfully attract your desires. And I'm also the founder of HipTalk.com and HypnoCloud apps, which gives you access to over 500 hypnosis recordings right in the palm of your hand. So be sure to download that app from the app stores today. And today I have a very special guest with me, Ashley Ann. Ashley Ann is also known as King Ashley Ann, and she is a talented business builder, public speaker, and social media strategist. Ashley has helped over 11,000 people monetize their social media and over 700 people to create six-figure incomes. And she's also currently helped 151 people to create seven-figure incomes. And 9 of her clients are consistently doing $1 million months. Woo! Love that. And she's also helped 1,000 businesses generate between 25K and 45K per month using live streams. So you are going to want to stay tuned and gobble up every single word of today's podcast. And just if you want to go ahead and hit up the website and her social media, you can go to KingAshleyAnn.biz, and Twitter is King Ashley Ann, Instagram, King Ashley Ann, and her YouTube channel is King Ashley Ann. Very consistent there. So welcome to the show, Ashley. Today, Ashley's going to be talking about how to bring opportunity or positive results to yourself. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here today.
Yes, I'm really excited to have you. Recently I've turned this podcast, as many of our listeners know, into a solo podcast where I just talk about my stuff. But you know what? I had to have Ashley on because I think our audience is really, really gonna, we have so many entrepreneurs out there, people, building their business. And selfishly, I'm building, always continue to build my business. So it's like, if I'm interested in what somebody has to say, then you guys definitely are going to be interested. So thank you so much for blessing us with your presence today. And I checked out your social media and it's really cool. I mean, you just, really, really have a lot of great things going on. So teach us.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the honor. I'm I love whenever I get to really speak to people who know their audience, and it's like a real community that's like niche down, because I feel like people generate more positive results that way, right? Instead of just kind of being.
Oh, we lost you for a second there. You have frozen officially for just a little bit here. Oh,
Am
there
I
you're
still
back.
frozen? I'm
You're
back.
back. Okay, good.
One of the things though that you mentioned, you were saying, like you're always in the process of building your business. And I think people have to understand that when they get into entrepreneurship, or even if you have a side hustle, like it's not like you do one thing and it stops. It's always constantly evolving, changing, trying to become more efficient, being able to scale, provide better services for your clients. And if you get to the point that you're not, trying to make it better in some way, well, I guess at that point you just may as well get out of business. But your business is an entity and it's allowed to grow and change the same way you are as a person. So I think we have to help a lot of people understand that, at least if you want a sustainable business.
I totally agree with that. I've been in business for about 23 years now, and it is constantly growing and changing and evolving. And I think that just based on the law of attraction too, which I teach, I mean, it's all about energy. And so if
Yeah.
you're putting love and passion and energy into your business, then at some point, you're going to get that back.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people, one of the things that intrigued me a lot about your podcast was the fact that you teach the law of attraction. And a lot of people try and like separate their beliefs and their energy and spirituality away from their business. And I'm like, it doesn't work that way. You're the leader, you're the visionary, right? It's your business in totality. You're going to be able to grow it however you want to grow it. And so it's really weird when I see people trying to like separate the two. And I'm like, no, you actually need all of those good thoughts and good energy, right? And ideas to like build the business, right? And make sure all of your little cogs and wheels are working the way that they're supposed to. And I see people sometimes get frustrated because they're not having any movement or their business gets really stagnant. And I'm like, well, this is why.
Absolutely. Well, and the other thing too is I think some people like they go into business because maybe they want that financial freedom. And so then, they think, well, what do I have to do to make money? And instead of saying, like what you're going to talk to us about, like, how can I be myself ultimately? I mean, it could, because you talk about how you can use your greatest challenges in life to lift you up to success. And so can you talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah, oh God, this is probably gonna sound like really cynical, but it's not. I don't think it's anything wrong, right, with being able to like profit from your pain. It's not like we always have to just take the lesson and that's it. If you can share your experience and you can keep another person from going through the same thing, they've been through them, you can provide a pathway for them to right get out of it, to be able to feel better faster. I don't think it's anything wrong with that. And I think that I always tell my clients, well, people are going to spend their money anyway, so why not let them spend some with you, right? So let's really think about like our life experiences, because it's not. We're in like this weird expert society, I feel, right now, especially with like online sales and digital products, right? And everybody's like, you got to be an expert. No, you don't have to be an expert. You really need to be a resource, right? If
Mm.
you're a resource, then that means where you are right now is enough, right? And as a resource, I'm just sharing my experience. I'm sharing what I've learned. I'm sharing where I've been. I'm sharing where I'm going. I'm sharing my thoughts, right? I'm sharing what I have figured out. I'm sharing what I have learned. And I think it's really more important to be a resource than so much more than trying to be an expert. So if we're a resource, it makes it really easy for you to look at your challenges in your life and say, okay, this is where I was before. This is where I am now. Now let's really look at this and see how was I able, right, to get to this happier state. And not even when it comes to like emotional or mental, or spiritual, right? Like even literally something as simple as, I wanted to hang a picture on my wall. I didn't want to damage it because I was renting. And I created, this cool Velcro strip, or, this cool piece of tape, or this really innovative way, on strings that I could hang something without causing damage to the property, right? So literally every day, all of the regular challenges that we have, if it's something that you're passionate about or you're really interested in, you can say, this is where I was, or this is what I was struggling with, and this is the solution that I found, and this is what's working for me. And I just want to share it with other people who may be interested in it.
I love that because that takes so much of the pressure off. I think so many people just have this looking good pressure that they have
Yeah.
to like live up to, like, oh my God, like I'm perfect. And then that creates this imposter syndrome because the
Mhm.
truth of the matter is no one's perfect. We all have our flaws. We all have got
Yes,
our problems. Even, once you've made multiple seven figures a year, you still have problems, right? You're not perfect.
absolutely. Money's a magnifier. I tell people that all the time. It doesn't solve things. It doesn't really change. It's a magnifier. Whatever you had going on in your life prior to that money, whatever type of person you are, wherever you need to develop, it's going to become enlarged with the money. That's how that works. So you're absolutely right. And it is weird if people think, well, oh, if I make this money, like all my problems are going to go away. No, lies. Lies. Lies.
Exactly. It's not going to make you happy. It's not going to, change. Like you said, it's a magnifier. It's going to magnify however you feel right now. If you feel bad, it's going to make you feel worse. If it feels, I
Yeah.
mean, there's like you could, I think you can use money as a resource to get whatever help you might need,
Yeah.
if you need to hire coaches, or you need to hire people to but you still are going to be working on yourself. You're still going to have the same mirror, the same reflection.
Absolutely. It's definitely a resource. I've seen people get a lot of money too. And it also is very destructive towards them, right? Because of that thing of, right, what like, am I gonna go and get help? Am I self-aware and I'm saying I want to improve myself? Or, do I have an ego that won't even fit through the door? And I think that I'm perfect and everything that I do and say is right. And because of this, right now I'm gonna keep on this path, right? And nobody can tell me anything, and I don't have the ability to recognize that I've gone too far, I'm going the wrong direction. So it's really interesting to see how that works, right, with different people. So some of us are
Absolutely.
just like, yeah, we're like, this is cool, this is what I want to do, it's great. And then you have other people, they're like trying to use their money to control people and suppress people and hurt people, right? But all of that has to do with who you really are before the money comes.
Yeah. I'd love to actually back up just a little bit and just, invite you to share like how you actually got started in this and, your backstory.
So it's really funny the way I got started with all the social media strategies. So my very first business and how I made my first milli is through social media. I'm not social media, Lord, through event design and production. And I built that business and I do really elaborate, like over the top events. I'm talking about when you come in, you see all those flower tunnels and like 20-foot trees in a building, and some girl is like, on a string rolling down, like all of that crazy stuff. That's me. I put those things together for like individuals, large corporations, all that kind of stuff. And so anyway, it took a while for me to kind of put two and two together that I should do social media strategy as well. So I'm doing my thing, and I'm a member of the chamber, and I meet this lady, and she's a pretty nice gal. She owns a art gallery, and she has this business manager, and she's paying $5,000 a month to this business manager. In my head at the time, I'm green, and from the neighborhood that I come from, I'm like, what is this? Like, what are you talking about? You just get up and do your own stuff, right? So like, which I do understand that there's definitely a role for business managers, like coaches, all that stuff, right? I've gotten older, I've evolved, I've met more people, and I understand more of what they do, right? But being a girl, just regular Black girl in America, coming from the country, is like, what are you talking about, right? So I meet this lady, and we're pretty friendly, and we start seeing each other around, and she calls me every now and then it starts becoming more frequently, then to the point she's calling me like 3 or 4 times a week, and she's always asking me advice, like business stuff, and a lot with like social media marketing, like how to convert people, ads, all this stuff. And back in the day, it wasn't called content marketing. This is a long time ago, like 16 years ago, like 15,
Right.
16 years ago, like, so anyway, one day I'm just like, why do you keep calling and asking me stuff? I had to know. I'm like, you have this business manager and you're paying all this money to, right? Like 60 grand a year. And she says, well, because everything you tell me always works. And I was like,
Mm.
okay. And there's two other colleagues, and they were pretty much in the event industry, and they would always call me and ask me stuff. And we were down at my storefront, and his girlfriend was like, no, she was like, he really won't do anything until he talks to you. He's like, yeah, you're my unofficial business partner. So that's when I had the light bulb. I was like, okay, if these people are getting paid thousands of dollars to consult and their clients are still coming to get advice from me, maybe I should look into consulting. So I still was running the event design and production company, still am right now to this day, but I'm actually getting ready to retire from that. That's the whole thing. Events is hard work. Okay. Slinging all those tables and building all those walls and stuff. Ooh, it's a lot of work. 18, 21 hour days. And I've had my run. I've been very blessed, in my industry, in the event world. 10 years is pretty much like the lifespan for us. So the fact that I've been here for 16 years and, I'm still doing great, extremely blessed. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm squirreling. So we get there. She asked me, I've come to the realization, and I said, okay, well, I'm gonna do consulting. And so at first I was just kind of doing general business development and consulting. I still hadn't really niched down to specifically social media marketing. I think that's because of my age. Like when I was in college, right before college is when Facebook kind of had started and was doing its thing. So when I was in high school, so I grew up with like MySpace and Black Planet and Facebook and all of that. So for me, I just assumed everybody could do it, right? Not true. But I hadn't really recognized it as a skill set yet. And so then I'm, moseying along, doing my thing, doing really, really well with the business. And I was really focused on running Facebook ads for clients. That was my biggest thing. And then I start running into all these people who are getting scammed just like left and right. So the scam back in the day was people would come and say, hey, I can help you grow your business. I'll take over your Facebook ads, or I'll start them for you. I'll market. We're going to get your engagement up, your exposure, yada, 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 all this stuff. Well, what they were doing with these things called worldwide campaigns. So you as a business owner, you're like, that's amazing. I'm so excited. And people are like literally like stripping down their 401ks, maxing out their credit cards, all because it wasn't cheap, right? It's not cheap to this day if you get someone that's really good at ads management, because they have this business, right? And I want to grow my business and I need to market and I'm struggling with marketing. That's really, I would honestly say like 85 to 89% of the small business owners I meet is not really an issue with the product. It's really like marketing the product and kind of like a product market fit. So they come in and say, we're going to do it and you're super pumped. Well, what they would do in a worldwide campaign, they go and buy really, really cheap traffic. So like, for instance, US, Australia, London, right? Or Canada, we're like tier 1, which we have the most buyers. So our traffic costs more. But then you can start buying traffic from like maybe the Philippines, Cambodia, maybe somewhere in Ghana, Lithuania, something like that, where the traffic is really, really cheap, because honestly, those people really aren't going to buy from you. Even if they like your stuff, they're never going to buy. But when you get inside of that ads manager, it was called the Power Editor back in the day. It was called Facebook Power Editor. And it is like another language in there. There's a lot going on. It's definitely intimidating to people and overwhelming. So you get in there, you don't know what's happening in the back end, and they have spent, maybe $200, but they've charged you possibly like 5,000 to 7,000 that month. And they've purchased all of this cheap traffic that is nowhere near you, that's never going to buy anything. And then they come back with their reports and they're like, well, look, we got 10,000 people to look at your post, and we got this many people in your video views, and look at all these comments you have. So now the business owner starts feeling bad. They're like, well, no one likes my product, right? Or my service or my offering clearly must be trash because no one wants it. No one's buying it. These people, you're in contract with them, right? So you're spending $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 a month with them, and you think that you're getting results, but it's really not. It's vanity metrics. They're pocketing all of this money, and then they run off into the sunset. So
that's awful.
Yeah. So probably, I don't know, maybe about 8 years or so ago. It could be a little longer than that. I just been doing this for so long, it kind of starts running together. But anyway, like literally every day I was hearing a story from someone that was going through this. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna get online and I'm gonna teach for free. And then this little app called Periscope came around. Maybe that may have been 6, 7 years ago, possibly 8. All of this is kind of like, happening because Periscope isn't even around anymore. But
no.
Yeah, so this app Periscope comes out and it gives everybody the ability to live stream. So I get on and I say, I'm just gonna teach people business stuff for free. Like, because every small business owner can't afford a coach, they can't afford a consultant, they can't, you know what I'm saying? They can't, but they have like really good ideas and stuff. So I'm just gonna teach for free. And then if people want the replays, they can go buy them. And so it's a win-win, right? I do the initial strategies for free. They can buy my replays if they feel like the information is valuable. That's my whole business model for this. My goal is to make $1,000 a month. If I can make $1,000 a month, I keep doing it. Sure, this is cool. Yeah. So long story long, that's how we get started. That's how everything starts to really. Again, I was doing well. I was probably making like $500,000 a year at that time on the ad strategy
Yeah.
side. But like that's when I started getting all these international clients and getting into multi-millions a year. And that's also when I had the realization, okay, you need to focus specifically on digital and social media marketing because this is what people are struggling with and what they really need help with. There's 50 million other people out there that can do regular business development, but no, people really don't understand this part in conversion and content marketing and, building rapport with your audiences. They don't understand these things. So long story long, that's how I got into it though. Literally just trying to help people out because I felt bad seeing people getting scammed left and right.
But you know what? I love that because you took a challenge, somebody else's challenge, and you saw something and you gave with your heart and you had the passion and you had the wherewithal and the foresight, and what do you know? You were paid generously because of your generosity. I really believe in the law of reciprocity.
Mhm.
And when you give from your heart and you do something that you feel passionate about because you literally see a need and it's not your need, it's somebody else's need, and you know how to help them with that need. I mean, you're going to be paid back and you have been. And so that's just an amazing story. I love that. Did it just, come natural to you? Like, I mean, did you ever have any struggles with your business before figuring all of this out and people seeking advice from you? I mean, was there a time when you ever struggled, or did you just sort of like naturally just like gravitate toward it?
So most of my struggles in business weren't actually like the day-to-day operational stuff in business. When I tell people one of my gifts, like the way God gives some people the gift to sing or dance, I am a business builder. That is my gift. I've always been able to make money, even when I was a little kid. Like
Mhm.
I don't know, I can just do it. And even when I talk to people, literally, I can see like little pictures like over their heads, and I'm like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. Like I know it sounds really weird, but that is
No.
that is my thing. I'm very good with business, beautification, and hospitality, and I work them out to their maximum capacity. But my struggles in business came more with I faced a lot of ageism and racism,
Mhm.
especially being from the South.
Mhm.
And it got so bad to the point I ended up having to put like a picture of myself on like almost every page of my website because I got tired of people, basically saying, "Oh, I thought you were a white woman," and then not wanting to work with me, or because I started when I was like 21, right?
Yeah.
People not taking me seriously because I was younger, and so they felt like I didn't know anything or I didn't have anything to offer. Like to the point, I actually was in the habit for a very long time of doing my hair and makeup to make me look older, which most women, you do the opposite. You put on right, you do everything. No, I was trying to make myself look older because I got tired of people not wanting to work with me or not taking me seriously or feeling like, what I had going on was invalid because they were like, oh, that's just a kid. She doesn't know what she's talking
Yeah, it's just so hard to imagine, this in this day and age, people, just having that attitude, and I mean, it's just like look at the proof of what you've
about.
accomplished. It doesn't matter, what color skin, how old you are, just look at what you've done. So
Well, one of the things it taught me though was, just go where you're wanted, if that
yeah.
makes sense.
Hmm.
So, and like you said, like the receipts, the results, those are my proof. And being so
Hmm.
good, that is undeniable. And even if you don't want to work with me, you still have to work with me because I'm the only person that can get this done for you. So I'm not gonna lie, and this may be petty in me, but that's one of my favorite things is when somebody that tried to play me has to come back and apologize and be like, okay, can we get this done? And I'm like, yeah, we can, but now I'm gonna charge you 3 times
Double.
I'm gonna charge you 3 times what it was before, and you're gonna pay it.
There you go.
And I'm gonna take your money and I'm gonna use it to help other women-owned businesses and young businesses and Black-owned businesses, and I'm gonna do stuff for them for free. So I'm really gonna agitate your spirit.
Good for you. Good for you. So what would you say is like the one of the most common mistakes that you see people making when building an online business today?
Being too focused on popularity. I think that's the biggest one. For some reason, people equate being popular online with lots of money, and it just is not true. I literally have clients who have like 600 and 700 followers, and they're making in between $5,000 and $10,000 a month. It's really more about the quality of your clients. I always tell my people, prosperity over popularity, prosperity over popularity, prosperity over popularity. I would rather you have 100 people that really are into what you're talking about, really want to know more. They can see the benefit of it. They have some, use for whatever it is that you offer, like immediately or in the foreseeable future, and they care about, the extra information that you're giving them around this thing. That's how you really build online. So not having, 100,000 people and yeah, they like your stuff, but they never comment back. They never slide in your DM. They never go to your website. They never ask you any like Bible questions, right? They don't really see you as a resource. And they're like, yeah, I might need it. I might not, I don't know. There's not really too much value. That's empty followers, right? And that's going to get you an empty bank account. So literally being hyper focused on like, let me find people that really care about this interest or topic or whatever it is that we're putting out here. The second big mistake people make is not list building, and you got to list build for your life. Okay. The social media algorithm changes all of the time. Like I would say almost every like 6 to 8 months, there are major changes, at least on the big platforms. Yeah. So right when you think you've got it figured out, it's going to change them. Yep. And realistically, you post it one time. Well, on most of the apps, 7 to 10% of your audience is going to see your post. Then depending on what percentage of them, normally it needs to be somewhere between 25 and 38% of them, they have to like and comment, and especially if they're sending it or sharing it to other people via DMs or they're saving it, that really weighs even more than a like. So you got to get, so out of that 7 to 10% of people that saw it, 25 to 38% of them have to like really be engaging with it. Then from those that are really engaging with it, now like the algorithm will say, okay, well, we'll show it to like 15% of your audience now, or 20% of your audience. And then we'll start showing it to strangers so you have the opportunity to meet new people. So realistically, just for a number's sake, we're gonna say if you got 1,000 followers and you post something, like literally only 70 to 100 people saw that.
Right.
So this is like severely limiting your announcement of like, your free thing or your product or your sale or your live event or trying to let people know about your next podcast or whatever is going on. So this is why I tell people, let's build. Our goal is to get at least 10% of our follower count on a text message list. If you can get them on a text, you can get them on an email. Okay. So I'm all for the text message list because like 85% of people have their phone with them pretty much nonstop. I know people that literally sleep with their phone like underneath their pillow. Like I know people that never cut off their phone. So literally, if we can get people on an email, if we can get them on a text, well, now I can text you directly and say, hey, I just released a new podcast episode. I would love for you to check it out. Here's the link, right? Or hey, I have this brand new product that's coming, or I have we just released a limited edition, cup or whatever it is. And if you want it, come and grab it. So a lot of us that are making like just crap loads of money online, we are just using social media for like our awareness portion, which is how I meet new people. And we are all working our buns off to get our people on our own text message list, inside of our own individual apps, and in our own email list so that we can talk to them. And then the third big mistake I would say people are making is not being consistent, especially if you're not spending money on ads. Like the out of sight, out of mind adage is really true. And you're going to have to condition yourself to post multiple times a day. It just is what it is. Just because you posted it at 10 o'clock a.m., like I said, only 70 to 100 people would have seen that if you have 1,000 followers. Well, what about the other 900 followers you have? They have no idea what's going on. So you have to get comfortable, right, with posting multiple times. I would say trying to pick 3 to 5 fonts that you really like, so it's easy for people to identify your work or your post or what's there. I would also say being consistent with the language that you're using. People really think about consistency. They confuse consistency and frequency. It's not the same. Like there are certain life experiences that different people are going to have. So like, let's say we owned a pizza shop. We have this pizza shop with these 1,000 followers, right? Now, if I am marketing towards maybe kids that are 18 to 22, I'm going to be like, hey, it's finals time. We stay open late to 3 a.m. You can come and get 2 pizzas for $15 from us. No taxes, right? Because I'm in college, I'm broke, I'm up late, I'm studying, and I'm hungry. And so I can get a few of my friends to go in on this pizza with me and we can eat for a couple of days, right? Now, same pizza shop, 1,000 followers. Well, maybe I have a family fun special. And I say, Mom, or I say, Dad, be a hero on Friday night. Come and get your family fun specials. For $40, you get 2 pizzas, you get drinks, you get breadsticks, you get some type of dessert option, and we'll even give you a roll of paper towels and plates. So you don't have to do the dishes, right? Yeah. Again, same pizza shop, but we're marketing to 2 different audiences, right?
Yeah.
The college kid that has finals does not care about the family fun special. They don't have kids. They don't,
Nope.
you know what I'm saying? They don't care about
Yeah.
pizza. I need something late at night and I need it to be cheap because I'm broke right now, right? The mom or the dad though that's been working all day, running meetings, entertaining clients, trying to finish up contracts, maybe even had to work late a few nights that week. Oh, this is great. I can just drive by and give someone $40 and in less than 5 minutes, they're going to give me everything. And I don't even have to wash the dishes because they gave me paper plates and paper towels, right? So literally, the language and the life experience that your clients are having, like being really consistent with who you're talking to. You can't get out here and try and sell to everybody. When you sell to everyone, you sell to no one. So those are my big mistakes. I'm sorry, girl. I can talk about this type of stuff all day long. I love this.
This is the gold. This is such gold. And, I totally believe in that. And I can even I'm like taking mental notes on everything that you're talking about as well, because, the consistency, the frequency, the, and I kind of learned that the hard way a little bit. I was on TikTok every day and I was starting to build a, decent little following. I mean, just, in the early stages. And then I stopped doing it for like a month. And then I go and I try to post a video and it's like, I went from like getting a few thousand views per video to like 100 views. And I was like, shoot, now I got to start all over again. Luckily, I kind of figured it out. I used some keywords that people just go crazy for. And I'm learning my audience and I'm learning to exactly what it is that they want to hear. I think that's absolutely brilliant. You have to know who you're marketing to, who you're talking to, and continue talking to that person. So I love that. These are all great. I mean, I'm sure people are taking massive amounts of notes because this is all such gold. This will be like on the replay list for sure.
Oh, thank you. I love this type of stuff. And
you can tell.
People, they kind of like struggle with what their purpose is in life. I feel really blessed that I figured mine out earlier on. And so, my goal is to help as many people as possible get paid to do things that they like to do. When you think about it, as an adult, we spend a third of our waking hours at work. You should be doing something you like to do. And if you are doing something you like to do, it makes you a happier person. It just makes you better. So then you're going to be a better wife or a better girlfriend. You're going to be a better mom, a better daughter, a better friend, a better prayer partner. Whatever you're doing in your life, you're going to be better at it because you're happy. And, when I looked around, there's so many people that were so miserable, right? Or so upset, or you just kind of taking whatever because you feel like that's what you have to take and you don't. So if I can help people get financial security doing things that they like to do, then guess what? We're like improving the quality of life for everyone around us. We're improving the planet like a little bit at a time. You can't really focus on who you're supposed to be when you have to focus on just trying to meet your basic needs, right? How am
Oh,
I keeping
yeah.
a roof over my head? How am I paying my lights? How do I get food? And my friends that are like born wealthy, I always joke with them. I'm like, y'all, we live in two different Americas. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you're born wealthy, you're privileged, you know what I'm saying? You're white. I'm black. I grew up in the hood, and I had to build everything that I had going on. And a lot of the stuff that I face day to day, there's like, what? Really? We don't even know that goes on. I know you don't know what goes on because you live in this America over here. So if we can help people transition and get to the point, because everybody doesn't want to be a millionaire, but everyone wants to have financial security, right? And if I
Absolutely.
can help people get financial security without, you know what I'm saying, like scamming or demeaning themselves or belittling themselves, then it's a win-win. So I love this stuff. And my favorite thing about social media, the barrier to entry is low for it. So that means all
Absolutely.
the regular people on the planet Earth that were not born rich, that can't get a bank loan, that maybe people geographically immediately to you don't support you. You can get out here and find your tribe all through your little old phone or your laptop, and you can build whatever it is that you want to build. So then you can really start working on who am I and how do I show up, right, in the fullest extent of myself, right? What am I really here to do? So I always tell people that's I know that's my purpose, help people manifest the life that they want, and I just use the foothold of finances. So let's get you paid to do stuff you like to do.
That's amazing. You are amazing. And I'm just really
Thank you
enjoying this.
so much.
Yeah, no, this is great. So one thing I wanted to know, because you mentioned that people don't need, and that was one of the biggest mistakes you mentioned, was people putting popularity before profit.
Yeah.
And gosh, I think we all kind of are naive to that and make that mistake, because you think like, well, the bigger numbers, and also it's just like an ego thing too. It's like, like you want to see those, like, for me, like sometimes it's like, I just want more engagement. I want more people to pay attention to me. I'm tired of being ignored. That's like my my little thing sometimes. Is like, I just want more people to pay attention to me. So like, how can you make money? How do people make money with 1,000 followers or less?
Thank you so much for asking that. And side note, thank you for keeping it real. Like a lot of people want the engagement, not even just online, right? In regular life, like so many people going through, like, I'm not being heard, I'm not being seen. So I don't even know. I guess yeah, that is ego, but I feel like that's like a natural thing, right? And then think about all the crazy stuff we do when we're younger, just in the name of being liked,
We
right? Or
want
to be a part of the group,
attention. Pay attention
right?
to
Right?
me.
You're right. Pay attention. Look, if you want people to pay attention with their wallets in our case.
Exactly.
So first thing first, if you have a small following, look at the customers that you already have. I don't care if it's only 3 of them. I guarantee if you really start studying these people, you are going to notice similarities in them. So this is how we're going to create our avatar. If you only got 4 people that buy from you on a consistent basis, well, great. Let's see what similarities can we find in these 4 people. Is it an
Hmm.
age thing? Is it a gender thing? Is it where they live? Is it a type of event that they're going to? Is it a struggle that they're having in life? You know what I'm saying? Is it like a moral thing? But I promise you, if you just really look at the customers, you will start to kind of find some similarities. And the reason this is important when we're building an avatar, we want to try and find as many of those people as possible. We don't want that empty 100,000 people. We're trying to find that 100 people that love everything we're talking about. We want people to say, oh my God, I was just having that conversation with my friend, or I was just thinking this, or I've always had a question about that, or man, I always want to know how that worked. That's what we're looking for, those people. Once we figure out who these 5 people are, 10 people are, 20 people, some of you guys have big audiences, so maybe you have 100,000 of those type of people. Maybe some of you guys have never sold anything before, right? And you're just kind of thinking about it. Well, now we have to figure out who our ideal people are. Either way, we're going to come up with an avatar. And I want you to give this person a name, okay? So one of my avatars, her name is Jessica, right? And so this is just an example. Jessica is always in between the ages of 28 and 35. Jessica works a 9 to 5 job. She's getting paid somewhere in between $45,000 and $60,000 a year. Jessica likes to travel at least 2 or 3 times a year with her friends. She loves to have brunch. She watches HGTV, Bravo, pretty much any housewife show. She's into it. She also gets her news from CNN. Jessica has a dog. She has very loving parents. And Jessica is a very responsible friend. That's my Jessica.
I love
Literally,
it.
20% of the women in my audience are Jessicas. And when I start running it down, they're like, oh, holy crap. They're like, how did you know my life? Right? Jessica also enjoys some luxury items. She likes Chanel. Jessica likes Telfar. Jessica likes Louis Vuitton, and Jessica likes Gucci, but she also will rock Michael Kors and Coach. Okay, I know when I say I know my girls, I know my girls. Backwards and forwards,
Yeah.
right? So that's what I mean when I say create this avatar. You need to really figure these people out. You guys spend some time stalking and chicken hawking.
So when you're creating that avatar and Jessica, besides the name, of course, are you
Yeah.
saying that there's that many people, like a large enough audience of people who all like Chanel and watch HGTV and have a dog? I mean,
And
is
love to
it
go to
really
brunch.
that
Yeah. It
specific?
is. Yeah. And you may meet 1 or 2 that don't have a dog. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't
Right.
or they don't have a pet at all, but they like dogs. But primarily they're going to fit like kind of 85% of those characteristics. So what people have always focused so much on demographics, and my secret weapon has been the psychographics. So I just want to know, like, what makes my people tick, what makes them feel good, what are they struggling with, what do they feel their pain points are, what are they afraid of, what do they like to do on the weekend, like it's a big difference between a soccer mom and a football mom. You know what I'm saying? Like literally people think, oh, they're sports moms. Nope, totally different personality traits, totally different responsibilities, because it's 2 different sports, 2 different games, right? And 2 different energies, especially if they're in the South and their kids are playing football. Okay, it's like super serious. All right, those are some women, honey. You do not play with them. All right. So literally, you're gonna figure out this avatar. Who is this person? And once we figure out things about them, well, the number 1 rule of marketing is you be where your people are, right? So if I know that you like makeup, right? And I know that you like Sephora and you like, to look cute, and you like to go to brunch with your friends. Well, brunch is food. So, well, what type of food does this Jessica eat? Is Jessica vegan? Is she paleo? Does she like keto? Does she eat everything? She don't care, right? Is she a vegetarian? Like, what's going on with her? So I'm gonna figure out. I'm gonna go and put myself on some food pages, right? Has nothing at all to do with business building, but I'm gonna put my ad there because I want Jessica to see me, right? If Jessica is into makeup, guess what? I'm gonna go and find 4 or 5 makeup artists that have Jessicas in their audience, and I'm gonna drop them and say, hey, can I post some content on your page? And they're gonna say, yeah, it's gonna cost you $30. Sure, I'll cash app you $30. Please put my content on your page, right? So now Jessica's know that I exist and they wander over to my page. So one thing I also know about a lot of people in my audience, they're pretty fit people. Not that everybody is running around with like washboard abs, but everyone's like, they're pretty conscious, of their bodies. They're trying to stay healthy. They, move and exercise a bit. They just are not, eating a bunch of junk food and stuff. A lot of the people in my audience, men and women, they're team natural, like Curly Gang. They are natural soaps, deodorants, hair care products, all of that. So I would start putting myself on natural pages. I would start putting myself on fitness pages. I'd say, hey, this ain't got nothing to do with your workout, but I can show you how to work out your bank account, right? This is what I do. Follow me, right? And literally, that's how it works. So once we know these people, we're just going to start looking at different things about them. Do they like football? Well, let me go and find some football pages, right?
Mhm.
Do, like whatever it is that they like, let me find these pages and put myself directly in front of them. Okay. So now that I know what they like and I know who they are, I need to figure out how they like their content. So let me go and study these pages that already have my ideal audience. I'm paying attention to the colors. I'm paying attention to the imagery they're using. I'm even looking at the font that they're choosing to use. Is it a headline? Is it long form video? Is it reels? Do they like carousels? Do they care about the color of pink? You know what I'm saying? Do they want things that are purple? Do they like cartoons? Are they into infographics? I'm literally, when these people post, what time are these people posting? Okay, they posted at 10 o'clock. They didn't get that much engagement, but I noticed when they make a post in between 6 and 7 a.m., they have triple the engagement. So my people are up early in the morning. I need to post at 6 or 7 a.m. Literally, I'm like going through and dissecting, and this is not sexy, but this is what works to get you results, right? Stocking and chicken hawking, researching, writing everything down in your handy dandy notebook so you have a pathway. If you do it this way, you cannot miss, right? And a lot of people just want to like rush into it. And it's like, nah, like you got to take your time with this. So once we get in there and I know what time of day she's around on social media and I know what pages she wants to be on because I know what she's interested in. And I figured out that she responds well to like pastels, flowers, keyboards, things like this. And I know what designer she likes to wear. So I may put a little this and there for lifestyle marketing. Now let me set up my pages for my Jessica's, right? What are Jessica's pain point? What is she struggling with? Well, Jessica doesn't really know that you need like funnels and email lists and all this stuff to build a business, but Jessica knows that she wants a successful business. Jessica knows that she would like to make $10,000 a month, right? So, what's my content going to be about? How I made $10,000 a month, right?
Mhm.
And step by step, right? This is what I need. Here are my supplies. Here are my tools. Let me answer their frequently asked questions. Here are my softwares. Here are my common mistakes. This is what I tried that worked. This is what I tried that didn't work. I'm going to try and be a resource. I'm going to share as much as I can about that overall desire. And then I'm going to say, where to make $10,000 a month. You have to do ABC, element of P. If you found that helpful, come to my training or buy my product, come into my class. Like literally, that's the pathway. You figure out this avatar, where are they hanging out at? What are they interested in? What really gets them going? And I'm just going to try and be everywhere that you are and always invite you to come home with me, right?
That is brilliant, beautiful, amazing. I mean, there's just so much gold in this that, I mean, anybody could ultimately just devour this podcast episode if they wanted to actually do this for themselves. And, there's so much gold in here that you could actually, you could actually apply a lot of this. So now that you've got your avatar, you've been speaking their language, you've brought them over to your your yummy irresistible offers. How do you, once you've got them into your free stuff, into the top of your funnel, how do you get them to start converting into sales?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different ways that we do this. So I teach in my people, it's called a tier one funnel. That's what I
Mhm.
teach my kingdom. So tier one funnels are great because if you're like a little introverted, if you have anxiety about asking for a sale, then they are going to work for you without you having to actually ever open up your mouth for a sale. So tier one funnels work. They come into the free thing, and once they sign up for it, you immediately send them to a confirmation page with an offer. You have to make the offer at top. I don't care what other people are saying because there's lots of people that are teaching the opposite. And I tried that. And when I tried it this way, myself and my clients, we all really were able to like double and triple our income
So
from
you make
this.
the offer right away.
right away. People need to know that you have products and services available to them and that they can participate with you through purchase. A big mistake I see people making is just giving away too much free stuff. And so, because you've conditioned this audience to like just get free stuff from you, when you ask them to buy something, they're like, what is that? No, I'm not doing that. I just want some more of your free stuff. So, even though, yeah, you got something for free from me, you need to know you also can participate with me through purchase, right? And if you want to dig deeper into this, if you're ready to get to the next step, right? If maybe you decide once I showed you how you don't want to do it yourself, you want me to do it, or you want to talk to someone on my team, here's how we do it. So, and it has to correlate with the free offer. Do not give somebody a banana for free and then turn around and say, buy a shoe from me. Does not work. Okay.
Right.
If you give them a free banana, well, then you're going to sell them a banana hanger or a banana bag or right a banana dehydrator. It better be something related to a banana if you gave them a banana for free. So once they get into the free thing, you're going to automatically send them to a confirmation page with an offer. At the very top of this confirmation page, you have to have a gigantic headline that says your free thing is on the way. However, whether you're mailing it to them, emailing it to them, whatever, you tell them it's on the way and how it's going to show up. You're going to say, in the meantime, check out this short video to learn how to get the most out of your free thing. Okay. You're going to pop up on the video and you're going to say, hey, I'm Ashley or I'm whoever, and I'm really excited that you got this banana from me today. And the best way you can get the most use out of your banana, or here's some different things you can do with this banana, or this banana was created for this type of person to help with this type of problem. Okay. So you're going to give them maybe 1 to 3 tips about the banana or things they can do with it. And then you're going to go into what's the next subsequent step. This is all in the same little video. So you're going to say, now, once you use the banana this way, you're now going to be ready for an apple, right? And the best thing that you can do with this apple is XYZ and element of P. And this is how we really make traction with it. If you know that you're almost ready for that step, or you're going to be ready for that step, check out my really cool masterclass or workshop or t-shirt or whatever it is that you're selling. It's going to be for the next step. And because you're now a part of my community, you can get it for, 50% off, or you can get it for $7.99 instead of $27.99. Whatever it is, you put a big old button underneath your video where they can get that thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Just like that. So now, even if they say no, guess what? Well, they're going to get a welcome email from you with the free thing. So then in the welcome email, you say, hey, here's your free blanket. You signed up for this, when you saw my post on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it was, right? And I'm super excited. And by the way, if you find this banana or this free thing super helpful, well, now you're also going to love XYZ. And guess what? You offer them a paid product right then and there in that same first email. Then you're going to continue on to say, hey, if you want to stay connected to me, you can always text me, and you're going to throw out your text message list, or you can tell them you can connect with me on whatever social sites you want them to build with you on. Just like that. So now your confirmation page is selling for you, and that email is selling for you. And you haven't had to say a word to clients, and you literally have automatic money coming in as long as you're pushing the free stuff. Okay. The next thing after that, that's a super easy way to sell: content marketing. Like literally just trying to be a resource and give as much helpful information as you can. I'm talking about terms, definitions, concepts, any type of like complex, breakdown for something, telling people how what's going on right now is going to affect them directly. Literally, making sure that you are answering frequently asked questions on a regular basis, tutorials, checklists, anything in that category is going to be value added content. And that puts you in a position where customers will now pull up on you and they'll say, hey, how can I work with you? Or do you have a product for this? Or they may slide in your DM and say, hey, I want to ask you a question about XYZ element of P. And at that point, you just say, oh, I'd really be interested in diving into this with you. Here's a link to get on my calendar, and it should be for a paid session. So then the third way, of course, every day you're going to make a post on your social media. And one of those posts outside of getting on your list should be to buy something from you. So you can post up testimonials, results. You could do a soft sale, maybe you with a bunch of your packages saying, shipping, out new orders or something. Y'all check out and see what we have, right? Anything like that. Which one do you like, the red one or the blue one? Tag someone that would kill the red one or something like that. Easy way for you to start making the sales without you having to be super salesy.
This is just amazing, amazing information. This is worth so much. I mean, this is worth several coach calls, I would say, to get this kind of information. You are just so generous, and I totally get it. When we're talking about the offer, the first, is it a small amount of money that you're usually asking for, or is it does it matter what the next step price range is? How do you determine what's right?
I personally like the small amount of money, just because I feel like that's more of an opportunity to test how serious people are. I also think it's a really good practice for you to be able to go back on the backside, right, through your analytics and say, well, have I done a good job effectively targeting the type of customer client I'm looking for? Because if you see, 100 people saw that offer and none of them picked it up, well, we did a bad job, right? Because we want to attract people that are going to support our business. But if we go in there, we see it's 100 people that saw it and 18 of them purchased, hey, that's not bad. You got an 18% rate, right? We want to try and get up to 30 or 40, but 18% ain't a bad place to start at, because now you can say, well, shoot, if I get 1,000 people over here, 180 of them are going to buy, right? And you know what I mean? So, and then that starts resulting into big money for you. So that, and then also, if you are spending money on ads, this tier one funnel setup like this is going to recover your ad spend for you way faster. I think once we get into a low tier offer, and you got to really try and knock their socks off with it too. That free thing or that low cost thing, that's really their first introduction to you. Do not feel like because it didn't cost that much that you get to skimp on it. Nope, you got to try and blow their wig back. Okay. Yeah. They got to be like, oh my God, I cannot believe I got this for $10, or I can't believe I got this for free. Because at that point, now you've built up your know, like, and trust factor super quickly. And they're not going to be hesitant to buy from you, because now they know if I spend this money with this person, I'm going to get what I wanted, or I'm going to get more than I thought I would get.
Absolutely. And yeah, I've been noticing, and you can probably people are getting advertised to on Facebook all the time. So, sometimes I just buy those offers because I just, they're so inexpensive. I mean, like $7 or whatever. And it's like, whoa, I'm getting all this stuff. And that kind of helps you, I think, with the structure to kind of know, not, that you want to rip anybody's content off, but it's just to okay, you're getting 3 MP3s and you're getting a PDF, and so I need to at least, give that much content in order for this to be of value. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think it's good. And it's, I'll be honest, I tell people this all the time. There are only really so many profitable business models out there. You know what I'm saying? So good business is good business. And I always tell people, if there's money to be made somewhere, guaranteed there are going to be other people entering into that space. So, and I learn things from people all the time that aren't even in my industry. I'm like, oh, I really like the way that they put that together. That was really smart. Let me see if I can pull that off, right? Or let me create some type of version of this for myself. So I think that's the smart thing to do. Success leaves clues. And if it worked for somebody else, why won't it work for you? You can at least try it, right? Before you just say, oh no, I have to try and reinvent the wheel. No, you don't. You find some other people that are winning and you say, you know what, let me get around the winners.
Yes. I love it. Wow. Well, I could just sit here and pick your brain all day. And, I'm sure that you would, be more than generous to give us some more information, but I'm going to leave a little bit on the table for our listeners now to come and, get your free, you have a free gift for our listeners. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so first thing, I would love for you guys to text the word commas with a K, KOMMAS, to 501-285-8966. And the first text message you get back is going to be an auto response, but like it's really real people. It's myself and my team. We're like in there all the time. But we call it the Commas Club, and we send all kinds of like free gifts. And when I'm doing live trainings and stuff like that, we hit y'all up so y'all know. And then the other thing that I wanted to give, at least once a month, I try and do a training for free. Normally, something that costs between $2,000 and $5,000. I will do it absolutely for free once a month. And
Ooh.
so I want to get you a link, and we can put it in the show notes. But that way, your
Mhm.
audience, y'all can come to this training. Now, this is a real training. It is very intense. It's going to be 3 to 5 hours, but I literally like to go in and just break down like the structures or the strategies that we're currently using to create profitable pages. So this is anything from like what hashtags are working all the way down to what softwares we're using for the backside of funnels, to how to put things together, to how to go and audit your own stuff, even how to get started. So it's very intense. It's not one of those I'm going to talk to you for 30 minutes and tell you about this secret that I found, but you got to give me $10 million to get to the secret. It's not that. It's like actually training. So people come and they send me pictures and videos online of just like 12 and 13 pages of notes that they've been taking from the class. And I always try and do a Q&A at the end of the session too. So anyway, I get you a link, and then all you guys have to do is click it. You'll see the next one that I have coming up. And I would love for you guys to come in. Well, those of you that are interested, at least in building your businesses up and social sales and all that, I would love for you guys to come get the info and go out and execute on it.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. So two gifts. You get the texting the word commas with a K, KOMMAS, to 501-283-8966. And then we're also going to post this other link that's going to be in the show notes that will get you on the the longer training, and you're going to break down exactly all the structures and everything, and how to put it all together. So this is really exciting.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. And thank you so much for having me and giving me the opportunity just to share, some other information and some of my story with some new people.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for all your generous information. I got so much out of it myself, and I know my audience will too. So just really, really want to thank you. And, be sure to, follow Ashley Ann on all her social media. All of that information will also be in the show notes. And thank you. I got a lot out of this, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me and for being so kind to me. Like, you made it easy, girl. You made it easy. I appreciate your good energy and all of the nice welcoming energy. Like sometimes you do these, girl, and it's like, oh my God, get me out of here.
Well, you made it easy for me to make it easy. So thank you so much.
Thank you.